Hey friends, we are reacting to Gypsy Rose's Cape Cod video. And of course, we have to say, obviously, in order to indulge Gypsy Rose's fantasies, that it's not just her. DEMONA comes into play here, friends. So, Into the Weeds Alive was reported by someone, we don't know who, but it was reported for a false reason. Look at my previous video to see why. I'll try and put a card up here where you can click on it. But for those of you who don't know, Into the Weeds is associated with military broadcast radio because Amber from Into the Weeds is a veteran. And she supports veterans by being a part of military broadcast radio. And one of their functions is to train veterans how to do podcasts, veterans who want to do podcasts as a way for moving forward or for therapy and things like that. So anyway, since this reaction is currently being made available because Amber often streams her stuff not only on her channel on Into the Weeds podcast, but on a military broadcast radio, we can currently react from there. This video features Gypsy and DEE at the Olay Foundation. DEE and Gypsy went to the Olay Foundation multiple times from what I understand. However, we know that Gypsy and Nick started talking in 2012, and Gypsy edits this video to include videos of herself as Gypsy and DEMONA talking to Nick before she sends it to him. So it seems like she took a video that maybe her or her mom made for their Facebook or for their website or their YouTube, because they had a YouTube as well, and edited in Gypsy and DEMONA videos before sending it to Nick for it to be included in these files of Nick's correspondence. So let's take a look, friends. And a big thank you to Military Broadcast Radio for the fact that this is available, and their links will be in the description.
If explodes.
Whoa, look at you. So we are at the Springfield National Airport, waiting for our plane to arrive to take off. It's not here yet, but it is a beautiful sunrise. Our flight leaves at 9:40, so we are up really early. Is our airport very nice, and we will be back with more for this.
So they've left out from the airport and got to the Northeast for the conference. And the amount of happiness and privilege that Gypsy displays here, friends, is just crazy for someone who got her plea deal on the reasons that she did.
So 80369 series, it's just that. It's a series. It's not just general. It's something that we're pushing in lieu of these other groups. They're moving forward as well, and we're making sure in lockstep that we're not putting forth combinations of connections that can play with each other. Does that make sense? Okay.
So we are at the Cape Cod Resort and Spa, and we are going to tour around.
If you'll notice, friends, she really turns up her southern accent whenever she's videoing on camera around her mom or other people. She doesn't do it for Nick personally, but in every other video she does. She really drags it out. She turns it up and tries to, in my opinion, make herself sound slow. Whenever she said in that video as DEMONA to Nick, I can make myself be your handicapped sister and I can easily appear as 12 or 13. And she was 22 at that time. I think that's one of the rare instances where she was telling the truth. What do y'all think, friends? Am I right or am I reaching?
Look how pretty the shelves are. The lights.
And the housekeeping cart. Wait till we find them.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to
One of the things that creeps me out about her in this stuff is that even whenever she's dragging out her words and it seems a little fake, then her laughs and snorts will seem genuine. And so it makes you think, okay, well, maybe I just mistook that if you're not already having a reason to be suspicious of her. You know what I mean, friends?
Barnstable Harbor. We are about to go whale watching. Look at the beautiful beach and some boats, and we will be back with more. Bye.
Friends, I just wanted to say here that it is interesting to note throughout the rest of this video how many times she mentions that she's at a beach, she's enjoying the beach, doing this at the beach, gonna do this and that at the beach. She says some very interesting things she wants to do at the beach. But then we all know later on, after she gets out of prison, she will mention something about her very first time at the beach. And pictures will be provided of her in the sand at Table Rock Lake. And she'll say, well, that doesn't count. That's a man-made lake with a man-made sandbar in the Ozarks. Pictures will be provided of here. And then if I remember right, forgive me if I'm wrong, she said something to the effect of, well, I just meant, a southern warm beach, or I meant without my mom, or, there's always a reason, friends. There's always an excuse. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Dee Dee had Gypsy out here on private yachts, friends. By any means necessary, Dee Dee used methods that I personally do not approve of. However, look what she gave her daughter.
So we are heading down.
Friends, did y'all notice that whenever Gypsy turned the camera towards the people, and it was Gypsy holding the camera, not Dee Dee, and we could clearly hear the voices, so we know Dee Dee wasn't really saying anything to her, and it appeared that Dee Dee had a bit of distance from Gypsy. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. It's okay. She immediately started screeching with happiness until the people above her turned to look at her. She had to get their attention before she could move on and move back to videoing the ocean. Did y'all clock that, friends? Let me know if you think I'm right or I'm reaching.
So we are heading down his nose shopping. Woohoo! And yep, we are just looking around, buying some souvenirs, some very nice stuff. Okay, we're heading into the store now. Bye.
So one of the confusing things, friends, about Gypsy Rose Blanchard is the way that you're hearing her right now is how she sounded all the time with Dee Dee in public. But then, to her own admission, there was also the whipping out of a baby bottle and suddenly start sucking it with no shame. She even talks about it in her book and on the Kale Lowry podcast to this day with no shame, discussing what type of nipples she prefers.
They smell good. Pretty. And how do you make them purple? I don't know how you make them purple. And Rosie said you plant them with a nail. Instead of glue. Nice. And the Cape Cod Church, First Baptist Church. Beautiful. Pretty clock tower. Yeah. Elbow room. Everybody's little elbow room. Cocktail. Cocktail room.
This is the way they acted, friends. Gypsy and Dee Dee would be singing and laughing and joking together like this all the time. Dee Dee would dance too.
I need a cocktail. So we are shopping at a Cape Cod shop, looking for the perfect t-shirt. Look at this big old shop. And this is our booth poster, Hobgoblin. This is around. It's a very big bar. Restaurant. It's a bar. And to all of you that know the whole drinking joke with me, you're gonna say gypsy again in a bar. But
Did y'all hear that, friends? She said, for those of you who know the whole drinking joke with me, you're going to say gypsy again in a bar. Gypsy again in a bar, the drinking joke with me. Okay, put a pin in that, friends, as they say, because drinking and gypsy will come up again later. And like we said, her and Nick started talking in 2012. So that tells us that this is likely their 2013 visit to the Ole conference, which would mean that Gypsy Rose is 22 here. So she's perfectly allowed to drink in a bar, and it appears that Dee Dee might be letting her, which is perfectly normal, friends, but doesn't coincide with the whole reason for her sweet plea deal for murdering Dee Dee. Anyway, I'm getting all worked up. Let's move on with the video, friends.
it's called a pub.
And restaurant.
Say it. Come on, say it. Say occupy hard yard. Sugar and diabetic.
For me, friends, this is how my people always described Dee Dee and Gypsy, and this is part of the reason why they were so shocked and traumatized, because Dee Dee and Gypsy acted joyful this way. They joked together, they laughed together, they interacted together. Stuff like this is why no one ever thought to question. So it makes you wonder just how good of an actress Gypsy Rose is. Friends, this next part is so funny. You're going to see some dude walk up and he's in like Revolutionary War garb. And Gypsy clearly likes him. She keeps the camera trained. Watch it.
Clam shack. In a little bit, there is a wait line. So we are waiting
Her pretend accent drives me nuts.
on the harbor.
This is sweet, friends. This is the kind of Dee Dee that I remember my friends describing, just always up for a joke or a dance or a laugh or a story.
Cha cha cha. Amazing, because I don't know this dance. I don't know this dance. What are you doing? Ah! Wow, it's really loud. Gotta remember, we're not at Vision Con.
Okay, before we go to the next one, I just got to break in real quick to say, friends, it's wild that she said Dee Dee's preparing her dance for VisionCon. We saw them rolling into the party, the after party, where Gypsy's like, I got my party wig on. I think Dee Dee let her have fun. I still think Dee Dee clearly made her pretend she couldn't walk whenever she could and perpetuated a con. But I already thought the medical abuse wasn't true, but I also think Dee Dee let her have fun, friends. I always suspected it from what my friends said, because if for anyone brand new to the channel who might not know, I'm from Southwest Missouri. I lived in Aurora, Missouri at the same time as Gypsy and Dee Dee from 2006 to 2008 until they got their Habitat for Humanity house in Springfield. I never met them personally, but my friends and family did. Some of them were their direct neighbors in Aurora. So I heard a lot of their stories, and I saw a lot of their social media shares go down in real time. And the Dee Dee that we're seeing dancing around here, laughing and whooping it up with Gypsy, this is what I heard about, friends. This is why people loved them and wanted to give. Clearly, it was all an act on Gypsy's part. Was it on Dee Dee's? I don't know. If it was, seems to have been simply to give her daughter everything she could ever imagine. What do y'all think, friends? All right, so this is an Olay Foundation video that clearly was edited for their social media or something like that, because Gypsy and Dee Dee, they had Facebook, they had YouTube, they had a website, you know, all this stuff. They had a newsletter, and oh shit, friends, something just occurred to me. So they had all this stuff. They did the social media shares. They did the website. They did the newsletter. Gypsy, this video, like I said, would have been in 2013. Gypsy seems happy here. By 2014, Gypsy was texting Aaliyah that her mom had been diagnosed with Parkinson's and her diabetes got worse. They hadn't been able to do any fundraisers and movie nights, blah, blah, blah. If I remember right, that was October 2014. Dee Dee wouldn't see another October. Gypsy had her killed. Wow. Do y'all remember the interview where Gypsy said she didn't know how much longer her mother would live and how much longer she might have to take care of her? Holy hell, friends.
We are in Cape Cod right now, and oh my goodness, am I missing you both so much. I'm not used to being away from you two this long, and lately I've been feeling kind of scared and insecure, but hopefully I'll get some reassurance soon. I really need it.
Can y'all imagine Gypsy Rose actually feeling scared and insecure? I feel like every time she says that, it's a ploy, friends. What do y'all think? Am I being too harsh?
But I'm hopeful. You know, I'm not freaking out. I'm just missing you two very much. Usually we talk either every day or every other day, so I usually get reassurance every day. So not being able to be online every day is really tough. Let's see what else has been going on. Trying to think. My mom stepped out of the room for a little while.
Her mom stepped out of the room for a little while, friends. Did you hear that?
Beaches are beautiful. I really wish you both were here to
It's almost like she's not helicoptered.
see the sunset with me. I'm sure we would enjoy that. Have a picnic in the sand and have like some wine or something. That'd be really nice.
She said have some wine or something. And let's not forget, Gypsy is over 21 here. I think Dee Dee was letting her drink. I think she was actually letting her have fun, friends. What do y'all think? Like, yes, I still think Dee Dee was making her do some conning by pretending she couldn't walk in the wheelchair when she clearly could. But yeah, I think Dee Dee was letting her have wine, letting her have some fun. They were clearly at a bar. Gypsy was joking around with her about being at a bar and drinking. It obviously wasn't off topic. What do y'all think, friends? Am I off base here?
Trip's going good so far. We went whale watching and we saw 3 whales. One came up like right by the boat, which I recorded it. You probably saw it a little while ago. Went shopping on Main Street, got a few souvenirs. What else? And we went to a medical conference, learned a lot of the latest technology and medical research and stuff like that. So that's what's been going on. Anyway, I know DEMONA wants to talk, so I'm going to let her talk and then we'll sign off.
Okay, watch this, friends. At the bottom here, You're going to see her put up her name, DEMONA, to signify to Nick that it's changed. She uses extra video editing. And let me tell you, friends, video editing is not easy to learn. I'm shocked she could do this much in 2013.
I can see the rest of the video. So, I love and adore you both, my darling, wonderful kings. Hey, you two sexies.
DEMONA.
I hope you both are doing wonderful right now. And, what else? Well, I've had one or two high libido nights, but, I deal with that the best way I can, which is fantasizing about you both. So,
She had one or two high libido nights, she said, and she dealt with it best she could about fantasizing about them both. Yet, after 8.5 years in prison and being married to someone who she literally screeched on camera that the D is fire, she wanted us to believe she had still never experienced an orgasm. In spite all of these videos and in spite of Dan's testimony that she clearly knew what she was doing and enjoyed herself with an electric toothbrush.
and one of those fantasies is something about a beach. It was something.
Do y'all remember her saying that she'd never been to a beach whenever she first got out? And people called her out because, number one, she was in the sand at Table Rock Lake Beach, which, granted, is man-made. It's imported sand. It's not really a beach proper at all. But I would say Cape Cod more is. But then, you know, her excuse was something along the lines of, not a warm beach or what the hell ever. Whatever her excuses always are, friends.
About naked on the beach. But I'll talk about it later. Let's see. As Gypsy was saying, we learned a lot of great stuff, did a lot of fun things, and we just missed you both so much and can't wait to get home. So, I love and adore you both so much, our handsome, adorable, sexy kings, and I can't wait to get home to kiss you both. So, I love you both so much and adore you both so much. Have a great day. Bye. Oh, and we hope you enjoyed this video. So we are at the bus station waiting to take our bus. Mama is getting our ticket. And we are just waiting. So, be back on the bus. This is a very small mall at Cape Cod.
You need to put some pep in your feel. You can tell it's very early in the morning.
I'm tired.
Just look into the mic over there. On the other side of the small.
Friends, her and Dee Dee are talking, but I swear I just heard her say something is fire. Let's scroll back a bit. See, that was at 3404. So let's go to 3345. 3330. There we go.
The bus station waiting to take our bus. Mama is getting our ticket. And we are just waiting. So,
Cut there.
be back on the bus. This is a very small
Cut there.
mall at Cape Cod.
You need to put some pep in your feel. You can tell it's very
Gypsy and Dee Dee laughing. Okay, let's pay close attention, friends.
early in the morning.
I'm tired.
Just look into the mic over there.
And fire. I don't know what she was talking about, but that sounded weirdly familiar. What do y'all think, friends? Oh my God. D is
Fire!
On the other side of the small mall. Smile.
You know, I saw a video of Ryan reacting to the worst of what Into the Weeds has put out so far. And he was like, well, I don't know that girl. He knows the girl who says that's fire.
We are on the bus.
And the wheels are going round and round. Cause the wheels was good and round and round and round. The life was good and round all through the con. Ooh, pretty color. Hey, we can try some of the car. They have a beer here.
Can I set this down?
The car. And the car.
I know.
What the hell was that, friends? Did y'all hear that? Was that like a baby doll Gypsy has or something with a recorded meow? It didn't sound human. What do y'all think, friends?
There it is. That's where we stayed.
And the car. We can make it. Can anybody really pronounce that name?
You know. Yeah.
We didn't get a spot at the choir.
Oh, look at the cute car. It looks like a bee.
Oh, cute. Oh, it's big as the B-mobile.
How cute.
In the choir.
That's where we stayed.
Can you imagine a person talking like Gypsy in a motorized wheelchair suddenly whipping out a baby bottle? Confusing, right, friends?
Our hotel.
Woohoo! But I don't gotta wash it dry out.
No, I don't. That's very odd. We are in Boston. Beautiful city.
Friends, considering her spelling level and stuff like that, and I completely understand that intelligence is not related to education. A very intelligent person can be uneducated on simple things like grammar and spelling. I see that in my Ozark culture all the time. However, it just shocks me that how good Gypsy is at video editing. And I realize this is not smoothly edited, but basic things like putting in words and splicing videos and stuff like that, whenever you very first start out, are like, oh my God, what do I do? And all the way back in 2013, for her to be this good at it is wild, especially considering that police report, which I will put a screenshot of up here again real quick, friends, that says that when they reviewed her sex tapes, that she was putting video credits at the end, like it was professional movies. Do we think it was professional movies, friends? Do we think she was running a little business behind Edie's back? I always considered that far-fetched. I heard that rumor last year, and I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. Surely not. Now what? I think it's possible, friends. After that video that we saw of her talking about her 13-year-old daughter, anything's possible. There's no telling what she did. What do y'all think she did? Let me know in the comments. friends, the only thing that upsets me about seeing Gypsy Rose enjoying things like this as an adult pretending to be disabled is that the people giving this stuff to her was still under the impression that she was a teenager, still underage. And I think of how many kids in the Ozarks actually had horrific disabilities and would have greatly benefited from something like this, but their parents weren't like Dee Dee. They weren't like Dee Dee, and they didn't know how to go about getting their kids these kinds of things, even though they actually did deserve it.
Wow, I think we're taking the grand tour around the city. Nice. It is nice. Back over the bridge. Moving. Look, she's moving. We are.
Gypsy got to experience a hologram in real life, friends. She got to experience that thanks to Dee Dee.
Waiting to board our plane to go to Chicago, and the next flight after that is from Chicago to Springfield. Oh, yay! Can't wait. Here's our bags. I'm glad we made it. Whoa! That is
Sanitary.
Whoa.
No germs.
We are at the Chicago airport right now, looking around at all the different souvenirs. Nice shirt.
Oh, over here is the white socks. Red socks.
Oh, the red socks. The white socks or red socks?
Over here is white socks.
White socks.
We change their socks.
We changed our socks. And the big board of all the flights. Ooh. Yeah, it's a lot of flights. Oh. Wow.
Time will be 1 hour 16 minutes. We will be flying at an altitude of 36,000 feet. Weather is clear, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius. In just a few moments, we will be closing the cabin door. At this time, please turn off and put away all electronic devices. Electronic devices can interfere with aircraft systems, therefore they must be turned completely off. They cannot be in airplane flight mode for takeoff or landing. I will let you know when you may use them during the flight. Thank you.
So what do y'all think, friends? There was a lot of stuff in there that was so freaking weird to me. Like, for instance, the fun way that Dee Dee was dancing around and Gypsy was screeching, being a woo girl, a woo, and stuff. That's how everyone in my community knew them whenever they arrived from Katrina. And everyone was so impressed that, oh my God, after all this devastation, and they have an abusive ex-husband and dad and all this stuff, they're still happy and blah, blah, blah. And that's one of the reasons why everyone wanted to give to them so much. This is what people saw, is why they were so shocked. Was what they saw correct? And Gypsy was just a, I don't know, psychopath murderer unawares to everyone, hidden from everyone in plain sight? Or was it something else? Let me know in the comments, friends. Like I always say, you're welcome to disagree with me. It's really okay. Let me know what you think. We'll go out with a palate cleanser. Have a good day, friends.